Let's go over the most underrated coach abilities in college football 25. If y'all enjoy this style of content, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that, man. Y'all know what to do with the video, man. First of all, coach abilities in this game, I would classify as interesting. I'll classify it as interesting. I don't love them. I don't hate them. I think they could have did a little bit more. I don't love how some of these are just so unattainable for, I'll say, the casual player and even a player that, don't want to go all out and, just want to rebuild a good program. Like getting program builder for a casual guy, for a guy that's only going to play a couple seasons is not realistic. And I don't love that. I get why they did it because some of these, abilities in here are very overpowered, but I just don't love it. So when you first create your head coach, you got the three options. You can either go with the recruiter, the tactician, or the motivator. I would personally say recruiter is probably your best bet. It's probably also the most cheesy. But when you come in here, these will help you immediately. These will help you day one. Running backs take less time to scout. Anything that takes less time to scout is going to be very useful. Then also a lot of these actions, gives a boost to certain positions. You get more recruiting hours you could spend on wide receivers, and then also increase interest from the start. That is very useful. And then once you get to elite is very hard to obtain, especially as a small program. But once you do unlock it, these are also very useful. But when you come to the motivator, I feel like these are just not as good, man. At least some of these starting abilities. And if we go inside of it, damn, it don't want me to click it. There we go. And when you actually look at it, tier 1, boost for quarterback. You get a boost XP when a quarterback is drafted in the top 3 rounds. Do you understand how difficult that is, especially as a small program? These tier 1 boosts will not apply for the first couple years, especially as you start as a small program. Like your tier 1 is not going to even be relevant. Then tier 2, DBs stay hot throughout timeouts, quarter change, and then also across games. Me personally, I don't really know what that means. I don't 100% know what that means. I'm assuming when a quarterback is hot or a DB is hot, whatever position they're at, I'm assuming their overall get boosted a little bit. I'm assuming their attributes get a boost, but it's not clear to me. We don't get when you're hot, your overall goes up by 3, or all attributes goes up by 3. It's not clear to us what, a quarterback, a DB being hot even means in this game. Then tier 3, defensive backs get an all-season training for just unlocking tier 3. But me personally, I feel like I don't see much difference, man. The way that all season training works in this game, it seems to be so random. But out of all of these tiers, this is the most valuable tier in my opinion. At least getting that all season training. Like I said, sound good. I don't know how much it's actually boosting, but that's probably the most valuable one. And then the last one, DBs start the fourth quarter hot in close games. First of all, the game got to be close. And I don't know what hot means, man. I just don't know what it means. Am I getting a plus 3 boost, a plus 2? What if they already was hot? So I just don't fully understand what that means. So I feel like the motivator one, I'm not super pleased with it, man. I'm not super pleased with it. But when you come down here to the tactician, this one I actually really like, man. I really like the tactician. You're able to boost actual attributes, man. This will help you day one. Same with the recruiter, man. These will help you day one. If you go heavy in the tactician, it will help you win games immediately compared to motivator. I'm just not sure what it really does, at some points. And then recruiter will help you win in the long run. It just depends on what type program you got and, how you're developing your guys. If you're a win now or, you're trying to win for the future. So that really just what it depends on. I think one of the most underrated abilities in this game is going to be the cross trainer and tactician, man. I don't hear people talking about this often. But if you're anything like me, you seen Travis Hunter go crazy last night for Colorado. They won their first game. But whole point is he's a two-way player, man. And I want a two-way player in one of my franchises. This right here, cross training, is the best way to pretty much have a two-way player, man. It'll boost both their offense and their defense and allow them to be just a two-way player. And we got a wide receiver. You want to play him as DB as well. This is perfect right here. But I don't see anyone talking about it. So I want to find a two-way player. I have yet to find one in any of my franchise files. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all have any players that y'all have playing two ways. But make sure y'all go into the tactician and y'all make sure y'all go into cross training, man. This will help out a lot. I will say anyone that does unlock the program builder, if you come in here and you actually upgrade your pipelines, I feel like that might be the best thing in this program builder, man. That might be the best pretty much ability in here, just because that's the only way you can upgrade pipelines. That is the only way you can upgrade pipelines. I've dropped a whole video on it. I'll make sure to put it in the description. I dropped it earlier this week, but that is the only way to upgrade pipelines. So that is actually very useful. And you can upgrade pipelines, and then you can also boost your primary pipeline. So definitely is very helpful. Next, let's talk about talent developer, man. And just look at the requirement to unlock this. You have to have 2 players drafted in the first round. Let me know if I'm tripping. But unless you're a top program, a 4 or 5-star prestige program, how long is it going to take you to have 2 players drafted in the top 2 rounds or top 1 round? That might take you 10 years, like if you're a small school, man. That literally might take you 10 years. But let's come in here and see if anything's actually of use. And, it is, some good things in here. DBs are more interested. Transfer DBs are more interested. There are some good things. But I feel like for what it costs to unlock this, I need this to be overpowered. I need this to be great, man. And it's just not. Tier 2, increased boost for O-line recruits when a current O-lineman hits skill caps. Like what? like I need a current O-lineman to pretty much max out his overall, and then my recruits will get a skill boost. Like, no, I don't. Like he'll get an interest boost. Like that don't make no sense, man. Like it makes sense. It's not worth it in my opinion, man. That's like, it's so rare that will actually happen. Like I need this to be good, and this is just like mid. Tier 3 is at least useful. Lower rated O lineman will progress faster. We could do that. We could work with that, man. Starting O lineman will gain XP faster. Tier 3 and Tier 4 is actually useful. Tier 1, Tier 2, is what it is. Tier 1 is somewhat useful, but Tier 2 is damn near pointless in my opinion. So I don't love this right here. All right, next we got the Architect, and I kind of have mixed feelings about this one, man. So to unlock this, you have to win 4 rivalry games, which depending on the program, you might not even play your rival. Like you might have to go out your way to schedule your rival. That's something I had to do at Temple. Because, like, my first 2 years, we just did not play our rival because they're not in our conference. So I had to go out my way to schedule them. And then you got to win the game. So, bare minimum, this could take 4 years. It could take longer. But when we actually look at it, I would argue Tier 2 is pretty useful, because this is one of the only ways you can actually increase skill caps. And then also Tier 4, which is also another way to increase skill caps. But other than that, leave a lot to be desired, man. 3-game winning streak, you get a bonus XP. Woohoo. Sound cool. I don't love it. Next, we got the strategist, man. For me, this is a hard no. Hard no. I don't like this. I don't like this. To unlock it, you got to win 4 bowl games. So, bare minimum, 4 years. Or, if you go to the playoffs, I guess they technically count as bowl games. So, if you make a playoff run, I guess technically you get it done in 1 year. But what this actually does is only for visits. And I don't like visits. I don't like visits in this game, man. I feel like at times they're a waste. And, I only put players on visits if I absolutely have to. But I would much rather try to get a recruit now than invest hours and try to put them on a visit later in the year. I don't love visits in this game, man. I don't love them. So this whole, strategist kind of just rubs me the wrong way. But the one I do like is Tier 4. Increased chance to learn development trait on visits. But at the end of the day, learning the development trait does not really help you too much. But it's good to know. But yeah, I just don't love this one at all. So lastly, let's talk about CEO. This is going to be also, with program that's very difficult to unlock. And one of the things that sticks out, you get a 1-year extension when facing being fired. Most likely, if I unlock the CEO, most likely I'm not being fired. I'm a good coach. I know what I'm doing. So That one just rubs me the wrong way. I get why it's there, but I don't love that as well. This one, Dream School, instant commits when offering scholarship. This right here makes it seem like you cannot get an instant commit without having this when that's not the case. So the verbiage in this is throwing me off. But I would, I'm interested what percentage boost, this gives. I wish it said that like 15% increase, but it don't say that. So we're kind of just left guessing. And then this one right here is probably the best in the whole game, in my opinion. Increased all skill group caps by 1 for rising seniors. That's probably gonna be the best one in the game, man. You could actually increase skill caps with this ability. So I would, try to unlock this, but like I say, unlocking CEO is probably, not obtainable for most programs, just because we're not rebuilding a small program for 10 years, most likely. So, shout out to you if you actually unlock CEO and, you actually played every game in your Dynasty, all that. But this one seems to be, whole CEO and program builder seems to only be unlocked for players that, more so simming or really, really good programs, that start off in a good position. So we have to make sure we being logical and then also have a strategy when we're using our Coach XP, man. Because we only have one attempt. You do not get your Coach XP back. The only way you get it back if you invest into program builder and CEO and you get fired and hired as an offensive or defensive coordinator. That's the only way you'll get pretty much some points back. But if you invest heavily into motivator and you go into a category where you really don't love, or you really don't care about, then you just pretty much wasted your hours, man. You only level up to level 50. So if you waste hours, you won't be able to unlock every single archetype in this game at all, man. It's a way to cheese it. It's the way to exploit the game. People been doing that, especially with the CEO, starting as an offensive coordinator. People have definitely been exploiting the game. Do what you got to do. But pretty much with this ability right here, we get a discount on abilities when other coaches have that same ability, and people pretty much been exploiting with that. But do what you gotta do. But overall, just make sure you being mindful when you spending your points. If y'all enjoyed this content at all, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that, man. Appreciate y'all for watching. But we on to the next one.